Hola amigos, bien o no, saludos desde Medellín. Hoy nuestro tema es técnicos que usted puede utilizar para mejorar no solo tu pronunciación, pero también tu comunicación. So ese es el tema de hoy. So, hello everyone, here we are in Medellín, another splendid evening. So the theme today is some ideas to help us improve not just the way we pronounce our words, but it's a bit of that, but also generally how we communicate, how we can communicate in a calmer, more relaxed way, speak with a bit more confidence, and generally not get too stressed with this whole speaking in a foreign language journey that we're on. So some of this comes out of a class I was doing this morning with one of my students. So again, I send thanks this time to my student Anna for her inspiration for this one today. But let's look at it this way. So we know that we're going to have general conversations as we carry on speaking our new language, and quite a few of these we can predict. I'm thinking particularly of things like introductions, because that's the one thing we guarantee we're going to be asked quite a lot, particularly when we're staying in a new country. There's that kind of question like, what's your name, where are you from, what do you do, why are you here? So knowing questions like that, we can effectively predict in quite a few situations, let's say some core or essential phrases that we're going to need. We could widen that out. We could look at that as somewhere we visit regularly, like maybe we go to the supermarket a lot, there's a coffee shop we visit, or if we're at work, aspects to do with our job perhaps. So just by starting there and practicing some of those key phrases we need, but really practicing them, making them as simple as possible, because the simplicity aspect of this is key, because then there's less things to try and remember, and the less there is to remember, the easier it is to say, and the easier it is to say, the more you can focus on expression, not just remembering the words. And if your expression is more fluid, more relaxed, more confident, you will sound more fluent, which is part of the thing. So the idea then is to think about conversations you have commonly or that you have fairly regularly, or situations that repeat enough for you to think, what would be a better way of saying those things I need to say when I do this thing? Think about that. Try and make the dialogue as simple as possible, because then you'll remember it easier. And then practice it. But practice it in all ways. Practice it not just in the way you'd say it, but like the way you would maybe stand when you say that. And think about the physicality of this. How do you move when you're saying that? Think about that as well, because that's going to help you too. Things like thinking about how you're doing the breathing. Like we said yesterday, using pauses to help you, because that again helps you control the breathing, slows things down a bit, gives you a bit more time to think. And providing you practice some key phrases, you're going to sound more fluent. You might sound a bit deliberate in some of the things you're saying, but that's okay. And if you get asked another question, obviously, all right, you'll have to improvise that part of it. But at least if for lots of the situations you go to, you can manage the first 30 seconds to a minute of the conversation in a way that makes perfect sense, is a nice clear phrase that you practiced, and you sound okay when you say that, you take a lot of stress out of the encounter, because that part of it works. If you get asked another question, okay, if you don't understand it or you need some more information, you can just ask a correcting question. Ask them, sorry, could you repeat that? Or I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean when you said that? Or indeed, if someone's asking you for a lot of information, just summarise their question. Okay, so I've understood that you want me to explain this, this, this. Is that right? So the techniques you can use to deal with the follow-on questions the other people might ask you, but at least at the beginning, the bit that you can control, which is what you're going to say at the start, if you practice some of that at least, and you kept it very simple, you think about making it as easy as possible to say, then hopefully different stages of your day become a lot easier. And then as you get to know more words and vocabulary, as you get to hear more conversations, and you can use phrases from those that are, that's interesting, I can use that phrase, and slowly, bit by bit, you develop your own voice in the new language from using the language that you hear around you, and that's how you slowly expand it. But at the beginning, it's finding a nice way of quite minimally saying what you need to say in fairly general situations, practicing so you get confident and quite calm in saying those things, and be critical about it. Think about how you really sound. Think about how you could improve it. Generally, speaking a little slower, using pauses, things like this will help you, because it helps you control your breathing, stop feeling stressed because, oh, I've got all these things I need to say, how do I do it? Helps you calm down, then you're much more in control of the conversation, and the rest of it should go okay. So there we go. That's our thought for the day. Keep it simple, bit of practice, and use pauses. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheerio.